Hey everybody, it is LSID932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me again for episode 2 of Love is Blind Sweden. We are picking up the heat, y'all. We are picking up the heat. So let's get into it. And while I start, please like, share, subscribe. Where we left off last time was Jakob was feeling the heat from Emily. Ooh, she says, I thought it was just, the two of us. But here comes another girl talking about your connection with her. She's like, I'm clocking you. Jakob says, you need to calm down. He never told her those feelings. So Emily's like, somebody's lying here. Somebody is lying. Jakob said Carolina and him had a special moment, but that does not erase the good connection that he feels with Emily. But he feels like Emily has decided. And it does feel like that. You came in here all judgy, and you mentioned the other girl's name. She says, no, it's Carolina who said that you have decided. And she doesn't know what to say to move forward when he asks her. She's about to leave, and he's like, wait a minute, are you leaving? She's like, yeah. So he says, all right that she's leaving. I guess he's like, I got another option. So when Emily leaves, she says it's chaos in her head. She doesn't know what's going on. In the women's lounge, she talks to Millie. Millie's like, why would Carolina lie? So Emily's like, maybe she could be scaring the other ladies away from Jakob. And I was like, interesting way to think, but you don't know unless you talk to Carolina. So in the men's lounge, Jakob is mad, tells them that he is stuck in a love triangle. He feels misunderstood. He's here to find his future wife. He has feelings for Carolina. He does like her. And the dude is like, you declared your love. And I'm like, what? Just saying you like her or you have feelings is declaring love? Maybe, y'all, this is one of those moments where we pause and say, this is an edited show. This is a translated show. So I am also reading subtitles based on the translation. So Jakob said he has not told her his feelings. And the other dude was like, Carolina has behaved normally if he said he had feelings. And I'm like, how is this? Just saying feelings doesn't mean I'm in love with you. Feelings are feelings. I don't like the advice that dude gave him. That's why I didn't even bother to remember the name. So Nicholas says, why does he keep looking? He can't think of anything but Karen. The men remind him that she lives close to him. Now, he did not remember that. Apparently, they live super close to each other. So he does ask her on their date. He asks if she lives in his neighborhood. And they're like, they could just go home together because they live just like a few blocks from each other. So he says his choice is clear. He can't think of anything that isn't fantastic about her. And she's like, everything's moving fast. She's hesitant, y'all. She's like taking a breather. She says she was impacted by a previous relationship. So we're bringing baggage to the pods now, y'all. Well, we always did. But she was promised all these great things in the start. And at the end, things change. And she wants him to understand. So Nicholas understood. He said, someone took advantage of your kindness. Very well said, Nicholas. Very well said. So he says he's there. He does not mean to pressure her. He says that she is his strongest connection. So he's worried that she won't pick him and is not ready for this. But he doesn't know if he can handle it if things fall apart. He says this in his confessional. So the very next day, Emily wants to wait till the end of the date to see how Carolina reacts to Jakob. I'm like, girl, I see you, little shady side. Because if he breaks up with her, I know where I stand. But if he doesn't, I also know where I stand. So Jakob and Carolina have a date. So he says things got crazy yesterday. He got so mad he was going to leave. And she's like, no, what? He said, he had someone else at his top this whole time, but he never told Emily. And she's like, but you never told me that. And he's like, that's how it is. He was very dismissive in this conversation with her when she was trying to get clarity. He'd be like, that's how it is. That, basically telling her maybe she heard it wrong. So he said his other date had ended badly. Emily got mad and he couldn't tell her in words that he'd found his wife and soulmate. He wants forever with Carolina. She is shaking. She's shaking so much, y'all. She throws herself to the floor and she's like, "So I got my man?" And I'm like, there's no love declaration in any of this. What do you mean you got your man? Hey, girl, please. In a women's lounge, she tells that they have decided to be a couple and they have decided to end things with everybody else. Girl, why are you saying that? You already know you and Emily. Say that after. See how Emily's date is. Why are we still doing this? But Emily doesn't know if she should tell Carolina what Jakob was telling her. So they do go chat. One of the ladies pushes Emily like, you need to talk to Carolina because she also needs to know what you've been told. So Emily says she was told about his secret. She knew the day before. And Carolina says, he told me I'm the only one he told. Now they're both mad. But I'm like, ladies, y'all not listening. Carolina, you especially. He said he hadn't told all these details to anyone else. He didn't say he hadn't told the details. But they're both mad. They're like, oh, he talking slick. He doing all kinds of stuff. He playing us. In the men's lounge, Jakob says he doesn't have to worry now. And I'm like, dude, if you know what's going on the ladies' side of things, you would be worried. But the ladies are mad, sad, disappointed. He's like, yo, I got my girl. Everything's fine. Jakob and Emily. So he knows that all he has to do is break up with Emily because he's declared himself for Carolina. He's sitting there saying, hello, 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 in the room. Emily has walked to the door. She grabs the handle and then she walks away. She says she wants to be an inspiration to women not to take crap from men. So she has left the pods and the experiment. Now he's in the men's lounge telling them, yeah, Emily didn't show up, but he's still good with Carolina. He's still got his girl. Woo! Jakob, I can't wait for that next date with Carolina. So Corinne doesn't know if Nicholas really wants her or just someone from the pods. So they have their date. He does set up her golf club. He gives her a golf club in their room. They change the seating to allow for space. There's a Polaroid camera and a photo album. And he also gives her his sweater because he can't meet her yet. So here's something of his she can have. You know, he doesn't want to add stress to her. But she says she started feeling insecure, that he didn't want her just about anyone. So he tells her his mom gave him a letter before he left. And it reminds him that when his heart hurts, that he is in love. And his chest hurts every time he talks to Karine. He says, I'm in love with you. He feels it all over. He's excited to build a life with her. And Karen says, that's beautiful. What are you doing to me? She starts tearing up crying. And they do, putt the ball for a little bit. And hers goes into the glass cup. So they had a great date. They had the emotions. And then they, got the elevated feeling of happiness. So the song played for them is All This Love Is Waiting Here For You. Now, Victor and Natalie, he feels joy when they talked, because she has a strong family connection. He wants to go deep. Natalie is and She says she can't express herself. She's just tired. And he's like, well, maybe we need to talk when you're more alert. I'm like, girl, what is going on? This man is here. You're building a connection. You're tired? Tired from what? You ain't got your phones. You ain't got TV. You ain't got a whole bunch of stuff. What are you tired from? But anyway, let me not go too much off on her. So the women's lounge, she walks in crying, boo-hoo-hooing. And they're like, oh my God, what happened? She's like, she's so tired. She didn't express herself well. And she thinks it all, is done with Victor. So the men's lounge, Victor's like, it was weird today. It was not a good day. He thought it was really great with her, but now he doesn't know what to think. So when the other dude said, hey, don't make any rash decisions. things change a lot day to day. Very great advice. Sorry I didn't get your name. The next day, Jakob, he says he's in a messy situation that has been dealt with. And I'm like, ooh, you don't know yet, Jakob. He says he feels like, Carolina must be living in paradise over there because he declared himself. Wait for it, Jakob. Wait for it. So Jakob has his date with Carolina. She wants to talk to him, but can't see how they can get past this. She says she felt happy yesterday and then sad when he shared this big thing about his life with Emily too. And the women all think that he's double talking. So Jakob says, hey, it hurts him that she was sad. No sorry. No apology. Okay? He said he had great dates with Emily and he did share with her, but he felt so wrong after he did, and he said he had to share it with Carolina because she is his only one. And he is scared of losing her. And I'm like, Jakob, this whole apology trying to get back with her is falling flat, my brother. I'm sorry. I can't believe you with this. What you should have told her is that, yes, I told Emily on the same day. I was going to tell you, but you were so emotional, I didn't want to overburden you. That would have been a plausible excuse, even though it would have been a player talk. That would have been plausible, Jakob. But now you're like, oh yeah, he's scared to lose it. Jakob, you disappointed me. But Carolina's like, think of how I looked. People are all saying this and that. And I'm like, girl, why are they all in your business? Yes, y'all are cohabitating. But if you didn't bring up his name, if you wasn't talking all this other talk, they wouldn't be in your business. Now, what does this say when you get out into the world? Are people going to be in your business still? Are you still going to be telling? What is going on here? But she doesn't like the feeling of being lied to. So he says, hey, I came in here to read you a poem. I was like, we have not dealt with this, Jakob. What are you doing? A poem? So he reads the poem. I ain't even write the words to the poem because I was so mad at Jakob. He said, the most beautiful thing someone ever said, and she needed to hear that. And I'm like, girl, he has not apologized. So he says, I'm in love with you. So, I think this has been edited all the way out. A whole bunch of talking because I cannot believe that she would just take this from him so quickly. So she says she's in shock and she loves this. The poem apparently was the turn around the corner she needed. They laugh about tearing down the wall, wanting to see each other and be near each other. Girl, he hasn't apologized. I'm sorry. Jakob, you on my short list. Nicholas and Karen. She says she has not stopped smiling since their last date. He wants to live a life with her. He proposes. She says, of course I will. And they both cannot believe what has been happening. The song they have is one of a kind. So they go back to the lounges. Both men and women are lounging and laying on the floor, y'all. And I was like, y'all are just like me. Y'all, the couches are there, but everybody's either laying out on the floor with their blanket and everything, or they're just chilling, sitting on the floor. They're more comfortable sitting on the ground. Now, if you're from Sweden, is this usual? I don't like it where everybody's walking around, but there seem to be pockets like the elevated area where that's where they mainly lay down. Nobody has their shoes on there. So I'm like, I love a good chillax on the floor. Is this normal for Sweden? Let me know in the comments. Victor and Natalie said it's been a lot, and she has not stayed to do the routine to check in with herself, so she was overwhelmed. She was worn out. He said he felt powerless on the date. His dream is to travel southern Italy with someone special. She talks about her allergies, and lo and behold, his sister has the same allergies. His mother prefers to drink champagne than red wine, just like she does. So y'all, first when I heard that thing, I'm like, ooh, at least your sister named me Natalie. So the song they have is I Got the Fire in Me, because it feels like they are back on track. Nicholas and Karen's reveal, okay? So y'all, I ain't going to talk about what they do backstage. We just want to get to the reveal. So y'all, they both are walking slow. Like, ooh, wee, what's going on? This is what I've been talking to. she keeps, they're both like amazed. She keeps leaning away from him, but I think it's to see him better, because once he proposes again, she says, of course, and the ring is on the right hand. Remember, Sweden is one of those places that the ring is on the right hand before it's moved to the left hand when they are married. Y'all, they kiss a lot and they kiss deeply. So I'm guessing they like each other, because I don't see somebody kissing that much if they ain't attracted or like each other. So they sit on the bench and they were just touching each other. She's rubbing his back. His hand is on her knee. It seems like they are connected. I'm happy for Nicholas and Karen. So Alicia and Tim, they like each other's laugh. She is less worried, since their first meeting. And she says the Pod's part is the hardest. So he said, he feels the opposite. He said the true test is when they live together. Thinking of marriage freaks him out. Why are you here, Tim? This is all about marriage. Why are we here? He said the proposal is a test thing. It's not real. Yes, it is, Tim. He said he panics when things move too fast and just leaves. Okay. He doesn't want to scare her off. He's, opening up to her to try and tell her his thoughts. She says, yes, it makes her worried. She doesn't feel safe and secure when someone, thinks like this. Like, let's wait and see. He says he's just trying to ease into it, and he's not good at expressing himself. Emotions are difficult for him. Remember, he said his family is used to sweeping things under the rug, and he's working with a therapist to try and get better. So Alicia's next date is with Oscar. He said when the guys ask, she is his number one. Other men in there are anxious, but he is calm because he knows. He wants to learn who she is or will be as a mother. He wants to keep talking to her. He is the best version of himself with her. Best version, or you just telling her what she wants to hear? Oscar, it sounded like plug and play. So they say when they get married, they would definitely just live together. They're not going to do the living apart. So the song they play is Always Know What to Say. In the men's lounge, Ola shares that he's having a nervous breakdown. This is the translated version. He said he's in a lot of pain because he's had a strict diet, but he doesn't want to be strict with himself because it's hard to connect with someone when he does that. Okay, Ola. Ola and Millie, he tells her his feelings have come to the surface. He's released the pain and he feels free. Millie's like, where's he coming from? Because it sounds like they're just two different people, two different lives. He's got a strict diet and she's into candy, red wine, and Coca-Cola. So, but something is telling her to keep seeing him. That's what she tells him. Millie, I got to side eye you. You know he a bridge too far. You done said it. In the men's lounge, she says, it went great. It feels great. Millie is in the women's lounge saying, he talked about himself the entire date. And why do things need to be serious all the time? They did not grow their relationship today. Y'all, this is what she's saying. And she keeps on saying, he was talking about pain and blah, 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 blah. He's out there and she is not. And it's important for her to date several guys in here and not just settle for one. Whew. Millie, I was looking at another one of the guys are being, but is Millie our resident player on the ladies' side? Millie's next date is with Oscar. Oscar, who just told his previous date that she number one, here he come with Millie. And remember, Millie and Oscar had a little, how can I say, friction because he was mimicking her accent and she thought it was rude. So he said he didn't think she would give him another chance because he messed up the first date. He said sometimes when he tries to flirt, it comes off as rude. And he felt he messed up and does want to date her. He said, he likes physical touch. He likes feeling close. She feels the same. She feels, flustered. They're doing this little innuendo talk. And it's like real flirty. They, and they want to talk more. And she said that she loves the fact that Oscar can admit when he is wrong. But when she walks out, y'all remember, Oscar is Alicia's number one and Alicia's Oscar's number one. Millie is walking out there smiling And the song they play while she's walking back to the women's lounges, like a snake in the grass, I'll come past. I'm like, yo, what are y'all saying about Millie? In the men's lounge, he's telling the men that, hey, my top of the list has changed. Ola is sitting right there. He's like, I thought this girl wouldn't give me a chance. And when they ask him the name, he says, it's Millie. Millie's at the top of my list, and I fought for her today. Y'all should have seen Ola's face. Ola's face was drawn. Next we see Jacob and Carolina. He said he's missed her so much. She is perfect for him. He is so grateful. He can imagine a life with her. He proposes, and she says, yes, of course I will. He's the best man she has ever been with. He's such an amazing person. Now, y'all remember, Carolina is the same one that said she wanted to live her own personal rom-com, romantic comedy. This is their love story, apparently. She's like, she wants to be so in love it's disgusting. Girl, what if this is not a fairy tale? What if this is bumps in the road because it's real life? I'm watching you, Carolina. So the song they play for them is All of the Hard Days Are Over Now. I don't think so. So y'all, we head straight into Jacob and Carolina's reveal. Straight into it. She is shaking. Y'all, she had me feeling anxious and, oh my gosh, what's going on? He said he needs to feel a physical attraction, but worries if she will like him. She said she's into the tall, dark, and handsome cliche. And it'll be a nightmare if she can tell that he is not into her. So they're both having the same panic attack. Jacob says, she said she's going to come run to me. So when these doors open and she runs to me, I'm going to catch her. It sounds more like she better be running to me. Y'all, the doors open, and that is the end of our episode. I thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you'll join me for the next one. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.